Yes, you see Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You're like, politics with Laura, where you going with this? Um, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have a lot in common. Now, don't let Kamala Harris being half Indian and half Jamaican fool you. Oh, don't let it fool you. Because she has a lot of the same sentiments and feelings for Black and brown people that Kamala Harris has. And if you have followed her career, then you would most definitely understand exactly that her and Joe Biden are one of the same. Well, not one of the same, but however, they have a lot more in common than what they do having not in common. But before I go down this rabbit hole, please, those of you who have subscribed to my channel, Politics with Laura, I want to thank you. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, Politics with Laura 1, you got me blowing up. Oh my goodness, thank you for the love. And those of you from Instagram coming over to YouTube and liking and subscribing, thank you. I'm almost close to 1,000 subscribers. Please smash the like button and press on the subscribe button. That is for free. But however, if you want to be kind and donate, please do so. I have another channel, Big Girl Diary. Go there, cash at me, Big Girl Diary. Hey, every donation is welcomed, and most definitely I'll be grateful for any and everything that you're able to bless me with on Cash App or PayPal. Big Girl Diary PayPal, Big Girl Diary Cash App. On that note, let's get down to business. Now, we remember that presidential election when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were basically going back and forth, and they were both blown away by Kathy Gifford. She just flattened them both. Especially, she paid a little extra attention to Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris showed her hypocrisy. Oh, it was bright, it was shiny, and it was orange. All right, so let's take a look at it. Okay, here's the presidential election. So let's just, they're going to talk about busing, but however, the busing situation most definitely goes into other avenues of life. Hold on.
You're opposed to federally mandated busing, that position is the same as his position. Is he right?
That is simply false. And let's be very clear about this. When Vice President Biden was in the United States Senate working with segregationists to oppose busing, which was the vehicle by which we would integrate America's public schools, had I been in the United States Senate at that time, I would have been completely on the other side of the aisle. And let's be clear about this.
Or was she? Or was she on the other side of the aisle? Keep in mind, she was over California. And what did she do to those people, those parents whose children were quite wayward and they were just a bit out there? Remember how she put those parents in jail and had a nice little cackling laugh? Did we forget that? How can we forget that laugh? How can we forget that laugh? But however, I had to throw that out there. All right, here it is.
And let's be clear about this. Had those segregationists their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate, Cory Booker would not be a member of the United States Senate, and Barack Obama would not have been in a position to nominate him to the title he now holds. And so on that issue, we could not be more apart, which is that the Vice President has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time. Now, I would like to also talk.
Oh, Kamala. Now you're saying that Joe Biden was wrong for not acknowledging nor apologize for his position, what he did back in the 1970s, and I'm not giving him any leeway. No, I'm just pointing out how they are a lot alike. Now, let's listen to what the rebuttal. Oh my goodness, it gets great. Now Joe Biden fights back.
Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California. There were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, like, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information that would exculpate your client. She didn't do that.
No, she didn't. The only thing what she did, she laughed. That's all she did. She laughed. She laughed her way through it. But what he's talking about her record. Continue listening.
She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden. Senator Harris, your response?
This is.
Before we even get into that, let's take a look at what he's talking about. Oh, let's take a look. Now, here, he's talking about the over 1,000 prisoners. She was using them as free labor, cheap labor, paying them $1.45 an hour to go out there and fight fires. However, she was doing it on the behest of Jerry Brown, the governor at that time that sanctioned it. He sanctioned it. She followed through on it. And you had judges and federal judges that mandated her to let the prisoners go. But she held on to them like a big girl holding on to a piece of chocolate cake. We were letting it go. You would have had to pry them out of her dead hands. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But
Simply not
let's continue
true.
on.
And as Attorney General of California, where I ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice, I am proud of the work we did, work that has received national recognition for what has been the important work of reforming a criminal justice system and cleaning up the consequences of the bills that you passed when you were in the United States Senate for decades. It was the work of creating one of the first in the nation initiatives around re-entering former offenders and getting them jobs and counseling.
Isn't it quite interesting how the two of them are pointing the finger back at one another? They're pointing back. But even though that Kamala Harris was the state's attorney general, she could have done a better job than what she did. But let's continue.
I did the work as Attorney General of putting body cameras on special agents in the state of California, and I'm proud of that work.
I want to bring in Congresswoman Gabbard. Congresswoman Gabbard, you took issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
Oh, take a look at Kamala Harris, because she's getting ready to take Kamala to task. And when that happens, you will see Kamala's hypocrisy come shining through, and then you'll see exactly why I say Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are one of the same. They hold a lot of the same views. Oh, watch.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana.
Oh, do you remember that? Do you remember how she had that laugh? Oh, remember that? She laughed her way through it. And she said how I'm half Jamaican. And you know what Jamaicans do? Oh, her father reamed her. Oh, and rightfully so. But a lot of people were in jail that she put in jail for marijuana when she's making fun of it and alluding that she smoked marijuana. Quite interesting.
Blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought.
Oh, the cheap labor. Right there. Having them work as firefighters. You can't make this stuff up.
To keep cash bail
Congresswoman.
system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why
that's what
we created
Joe Biden was doing when you criticized him for busing. That was the law of the time, and a law what they were passing to legislate. I'm not saying it's right, but he stood by that record. Looking back on it, he cringes. Well, maybe. I doubt it. But anyway, I digress. But she wanted an apology from Joe Biden, and when one is going to be asked of her, watch how she does the swerve. Watch.
Initiatives that were about re-entering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response?
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your...
She had to keep those people in jail to get that free or cheap labor. It didn't matter that they were brown and Black people, because keep in mind, she's half Indian and half Jamaican. And a half Indian, oh, don't get me going. Both parts, Indian and Jamaica, are under the Commonwealth of England. So she does not have the mindset of Black and brown people. She may have the Black or brown color, but it doesn't mean that she thinks like one. Oh, no. Oh, no. Get her, Gag. Get her. Watch.
Reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
Watch for the swerve. Watch for the swerve. And watch for her. Just watch. She wanted Joe Biden to apologize for what he did. And watch. Oh, it gets good.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty. That is my background. That is my work. I am proud of it. I think you can judge people by when they are under fire, and it's not about some fancy opinion on a stage, but when they're in the position to actually make a decision, what do they do? When I was in the position of having to decide whether or not to seek a death penalty on cases I prosecuted, I made a very difficult decision that was not popular to not seek the death penalty. History shows that, and I am proud of those decisions.
Senator Harris, thank you very much. Senator Bennett,
wow.
a question for you. Why are you the best candidate to heal the racial divide that exists in this country today?
Oh, wow. She is most definitely proud of that record. She did that swerve. No apology. None. I'm proud of my record. I'm proud of it. That's exactly what she said. She's proud of it. Now, you can't make this stuff up. Now, let's go back to this article real quick, because this right here is the source of a lot of what's being said at the presidential election that passed. Now, she most definitely did a whole lot of bad stuff. But here, what I wanted to shed some light on is that the prisoners battling the fires in California deserve a real wage, and their rights as workers led to larger issues in the prison labor fires or not. I'm often asked by the ACLU, think about this. The other prisoners' work programs, the answer isn't black or white, but most prisoners want to work the jobs for prisoners can be a positive thing. A job can provide an escape of a crushing monotony prison life. And that right there is true. But, okay, that's what I really want to point out. Okay, the prisoner labor also raises additional concerns beyond the prisoner's health and safety. Employers will naturally be attracted by the prospect of a uniquely docile, powerless, and literally captive labor force. The prison labor force could also undercut workers who are not incarcerated. Without proper oversight, the country with a 2.3 million prisoners, there's a danger that the prison labor could replace the positions of free workers and undermine worker rights at large. Oh my goodness. So there, look at this. You have these guys that are prisoners that are nonviolent prisoners that were supposed to be out, but Kamala Harris kept them in and paid them $1.45 because at that time, the firefighters in California battled the deadliest wildfires in the state's history. So there was a lot going on there, a whole lot. But what do you think? Do you think Kamala Harris and Joe Biden have a lot in common? I do, but it's not about what I think. What do you think? Please put your comments down in the comment section, and let's get a discussion started. On that note, I want to thank you for stopping by.
I want to thank you for stopping by, because you could be anywhere, but you decide to stay here with me and listen to my video, because politics runs the world. Now, whether if you agree with the politics or not, put something down in the comment section. Whether if you agree or disagree with me, that is okay. We can agree to disagree, or we can agree to agree. So please help me get to 500 subscribers, and then help me get to 1,000 subscribers. And thank you for stopping by.